Hi guys, welcome back. Max Shank here with the 12 Flows of Christmas, and today we are going to learn a little bit more about something very important, and that is rotation. Now I don't just mean rotation through your spine, although that's very important too. I mean a coordinated rotation through your entire body. So what I'm going to do is show you a couple of very simple exercises to help make your rotation a lot better. Rotation is something that has been a cornerstone of yoga practice for thousands of years, and for good reason. It releases endorphins, and it also helps unlock the hips and shoulders. And I actually talk about this a great deal in my Simple Shoulder Solution program. What we're going to start with is something called soft rolling. So I want you to lay down on your back with your arms overhead, and I want you to imagine that your legs and your left arm are not allowed to use any force whatsoever. Just pretend they're paralyzed, and you're going to use your head and your right arm to look, reach, and roll yourself over. Very common mistake at this point is people take this heel and push themselves up, but you don't want to do that. You want to keep this SI joint, that right lower back, on the floor as long as you possibly can, so you really get that rotation through your upper torso, and you want to make sure that you're looking and reaching for an object. You don't have to actually grab the object, but you do have to look and reach for it because you want to have what's called active vision. This is extremely important because your vision is at the very top of something called your neural hierarchy. It is the most important way that your brain takes in information about your surroundings, so it's very important to have your vision coordinated with your movement. That was the upper body soft roll. You'll want to do that on both sides, probably about 3 or 5 times. Then we're going to do the same thing with the lower body, and most people find this quite a bit easier. You're going to take your right leg and reach it across. And if you flop like that, that's kind of a good indicator that you did it right, because you don't want to be pushing through your hands at all. Then to go back, this is where some people struggle. You're going to reach this leg across behind you until it just takes your whole body with it. And this is a really great way to get people kind of clued back into how their torso muscles actually work. Many people aren't quite ready to try to work some sort of compound coordinated rotation from a standing position until they've really spent some time on the floor to get that nice feedback from the ground. It really does keep you honest. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of focus and a little bit of load to this rotation. So one of my favorite drills, and this is kind of like almost like a little secret hack for really improving a person's mobility and strength. What we're going to do is go from kneeling, half kneeling, standing, and a single leg position. So I'm not going to show you each one, but I'm going to show you what I want generally speaking. We're going to take this and reach it as far across our body as possible. So I'm getting a lot of pec activation, I'm getting a lot of shoulder activation, my arm is completely straight, and I'm also getting some serious abs. Because I'm on my knees, I am locked in, so I can't move from my ankles or knees, so I have to get all the rotation from my spine. And if I allow my hips to move, that's going to change it a little bit as well. So this is a really good opportunity to pay attention to some of the subtleties in rotation. And we're going to do the same thing over here. And this arm, you can kind of do what you want. You can reach it along for the ride. I personally prefer to just set it over here. It does keep you a little bit more honest. And as you come to this position, you'll start to recognize that just changing the hip position completely changes the exercise. And this movement may seem risky with the glass of water, but it's actually necessary to get you to focus and pay attention. It's also very important to be able to get your hand, palm, completely turned upward. Many people just don't have the strength and mobility to hold that position. The last variation for rotation, you're going to stand on one leg, and I would once again do both legs. Reach across as far as you can. So now I'm using some of what I refer to as my hip-tator cuff, which is like a rotator cuff for your hips. It's also the coolest rotator cuff there is. You're going to reach all the way back across. You're going to allow yourself to bend the knee if you need to. You're going to allow yourself to internally rotate at that hip. And you can notice I can reach quite a bit further. I'm probably another 30 degrees. Same thing on the other side. I can go left leg, I can go right leg. If I do go right leg, anytime you rotate the same way of the leg that you're standing on, it's going to force internal rotation. This is so important. It's something that most people really struggle with. Do these rotational exercises and you will be absolutely amazed at the difference it makes in your hips, shoulders, knees, neck. I really can't think of a better exercise. If I had to just pick one thing for someone to start with, it would definitely be rotation. Added bonus is if you do it with a glass of water, you can complete your 5-minute flow with your water drinking, which if you've read into my work is a really important cornerstone of the 5-minute flow habit itself. So stay tuned for tomorrow. Don't forget to like this and tag 2 friends, and I will see you tomorrow.